let's get it started, man. Let's get Lou in here. No UFC this week, so we just got NFL talk with Lou. They're off. 2 more UFC fights here coming up until the end of the season, and it moves over to Paramount next year. I almost said Peacock there.
Yeah.
Peacock's on my mind. I'm still angry about it. So let's get Lou on here, and let's get it started here with the man, the myth, the legend here, of course, Uncle Lou, here on this Wednesday. Before, dare I take a stab at this, Lou, and say one of your favorite holidays, Thanksgiving?
Every holiday is one of my favorite holidays. And I want to thank you guys for having me on, but I want to comment on man, myth, and legend. The legend has the rings. So which one are the two of us is what I'm trying to
Yeah, I'm just the man. Yeah, you guys fight over the other thing. I'm just the dude, right? So
yeah, well, I'm all myth here at my house, I can tell you.
We all are, Lou.
Yeah.
Yeah, even Michael Jordan goes home and has to take out the trash.
Yeah.
Right?
Anyway, I want to wish everyone a great holiday. Those in America, this is a great holiday for us, Thanksgiving, because really sitting around talking about sports gambling, let's face it, we have a lot of blessings to count if that's really our pursuit. So want to wish everyone a great holiday. Those outside the country, I hope you have a great weekend. We'll make every attempt to make your NFL weekend as sweet as possible. And I have strong opinions with all of that, and we'll get into them in time, I'm sure.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's get it started first here with the important talk. You're in this temporary house. Your house is being remodeled right now. What's the setup? What's on the menu? What is all of that for tomorrow's Thanksgiving feast?
So Steve, no tease. We're going right to the jugular.
Lou, I'm not going to lie to you. This is the only reason I have you on this week. Otherwise, I would have just blown you off. But I want to know this stuff.
So that's the one thing I really have ability and some creative ability at is in a kitchen. I can cook. I'm not a chef, but I can cook. And so our Thanksgiving will be a bird with dressing. And for me, mashed potatoes, dressing, gravy, and some white meat. And you call it a game, but we'll have all of that. I'll also have some yams that the recipe came from my first wife's mother. And holy moly, will these yams knock the boots right off you. Really, really good. And then there's, in recent evolutions, my son and my wife like a green bean casserole, so I'm going to whip that up as well. Because I'm in a new kitchen and one that's fairly well equipped, the good news is I'm really fortunate. My wife runs this Roberts Resort here in Phoenix, and they have a full commercial kitchen with ovens and walk-in coolers, et cetera, et cetera. So my bird's over there. I'm getting it today to prep it, and I can use a couple ovens for like the casserole and the yams in order to get everything to the table hot. The most difficult meal of all, in my simple opinion, is for the chef or the cook to put all of Thanksgiving together at once so everybody can sit and eat. Any other meal other than that is way easier, and that's why I'll only do it once a year, and I wouldn't even do it then, but my wife and her mom want Thanksgiving traditional, and that's what they're going to get.
That's awesome, because I've been on my wife's email thread with both our daughters, their husbands, my brother, his daughters, and who's cooking what, and how many ovens do you need, and our next door neighbor's going to allow us to use the third oven, and I was like, wow,
you guys stress me
to
out,
try
man.
and time all this stuff together. You're right. It's really difficult.
You guys stress me out with all this talk.
Well, then you got gravy. So, now, the gravy has to, if you're using roux, you got to stir the drippings in, and, it's like the guy, juggling with the plate on his nose kind of thing.
So,
but it's fun and it's rewarding, and after all that prep, demolition
Yeah.
45 minutes later.
Yeah, it's like 10 minutes later. It's like everything's done. And what? Now, hey, the one question I want to ask you is, what time is your meal? Do you work it around the Lions game or the Cowboys game, or football doesn't matter to you tomorrow?
At my house, the ladies say jump and I say how high. And so we're going to eat about 2,
Okay.
which is fine because really today I'm going to prep a lot. I'm totally into the advanced stages. So the casserole and the yams will be boiled off. They'll be prepped. They'll be ready to go into ovens. That's done. So really between mashing potatoes while the turkey gets pulled out and having somebody go get those oven items, I should be in pretty good shape. And it probably helps me. Last year at the house, of course, I have the smoker, so I can have stuff out in the smoker or keep the bird in the smoker while I'm doing other stuff. So it is coordination, but it's really great. It's an opportunity again, a lot of family and friends together giving thanks. We need to do more of that in this country instead of trying to find how many differences we have.
Tell me this real quick, and by the way, I concur with you wholeheartedly there. Are you a guy that gets stressed at this time when everything's trying to come together? Like my wife, sweet as the day is long, but it tends to be like the last hour as you're trying to time everything up. The stress level tends to go up a little bit.
Meaner than a mountain lion. No, that's why I do it, because I've been around this. I've always done. I'm the oldest of 8, and so growing up, we always had family dinner. I was the person setting the table and helping my mom, so it kind of comes natural. And I really love doing it. And now that I know I'm doing it, I have it all organized and set. And as long as I can stay relatively close to schedule, I have it, systematically paced, that we'll be in great shape. The good news is that you really want to let that bird sit for 20 to 30 minutes after you take it out of an oven so that it will hold its juice. And while you're doing that, that's when I'm at my busiest, but I'll be able to deliver and it'll be great.
Well, okay, how much leftovers do you have when you get done? That's the big question, because people are like, I eat leftovers for a week. And to me, it's like, well, you didn't eat enough on Thanksgiving.
Well, I have 4 people. We only have a 12-pound bird. So more than likely, what leftovers there will go with my 29-year-old back to his apartment with him at the end of the. So I'll be able to clean most everything out for some time. So I have a physical in a couple of months. So about a week or so, 10 days ago, I went on just a protein and vegetable diet. So I'm going to have a little dressing and a little mashed potatoes on Thanksgiving, but it won't be the normal piece that it has to be. It'll take me 2 months to get my weight down, get my blood pressure set, and get in front of that doctor, and the doctor will tell me how great I'm doing and everything, and then I'll go spend the next 10 months getting ready again.
That's kind of like when you have the dentist appointment the week before you start flossing, making sure that you.
You know what? They turned me onto a water pick about 4 years ago because I'm on my 3rd one.
Yeah.
Holy moly. I'm tired. I want to go to bed. And I think, you know what? My mouth feels okay. And then I run that thing, and it looks like the New York sewer system. It's like, holy cow. So I tell you what, I'm no advertising guy, but if you've never tried a water pick, I haven't had a cavity since I started using it. It's just been unbelievable.
It's just amazing. When I was a kid, I'm going to out myself here, and somebody's going to catch on and make fun of me. But when I was a kid, my mom used to make us clean the house before the cleaning lady would come by. So same type of a concept there. And I always just laugh on that. And
we don't want to see it so messy.
Yeah, we don't want to know how we live for real. So when they come over, they're just gonna. So I'm still that way today. So I always do that too. So it makes me laugh. Who does the dishes in the house, Lou, after all of that cooking and everything?
A lot of times my wife will jump, and my wife and her will try and jump to do that. But usually once we're eating and everything, you can see when I'll get my son and I will get the plates for sure. And then I'll usually be able to hang by the sink and do most of that and get the heavy work done. They'll just throw everything with freaking, clusters of stuff on the plates right in the dishwasher. I get the plates so that you can almost eat it right off of them again. Then I put it in.
I do the same thing.
Sterilize.
People make fun of me. Like, I clean them like spotless before I put them in the dishwasher. Like, my opinion is the dishwasher polishes them and makes them cleaner. But everybody makes fun of me about that.
Well, that you two are very weird, so we can accept that. What's for dessert, Lou?
What are you, Mike Wallace over here?
Hey, he's looking for an invite, is what he's doing. He's trying to figure out which place he wants to go to.
How far do you live out there?
Well, I'll tell you what, you'll stop right now because I was in the pie aisle and I thought to myself, wait a minute. I mean, everything, the pie, you got to think about it, but I'm always too full to think about eating it. So I didn't get a dessert. I don't have one planned. That said, I'm certain that my mother-in-law, when she comes out with my son, they'll probably have something because, like it. I get mad at her for bringing stuff over to the house because she doesn't need to do that, but she probably will. And she don't listen to me. At 90, she can do what she wants. And she does.
Well, she ain't gonna let you. She ain't gonna. Regardless, you're right. She's gonna do what she wants. You don't care what you have to say. At 90, she's like, I don't care anymore on that side. Right. So that's. Did you catch earlier, by the way, Lou, that Dale said he's seeing the emails and the texts between his family, his wife and his daughters and the husbands? Did you notice that? Did you catch that Dale's not involved in those texts or emails at all for his meals?
It seemed consistent with his deep wisdom. Yeah. That's like stepping into a bear trap or the quicksand.
Lou, I've been married.
That's the last place that you want to be.
I've been married 37 years. I know where my place is. I'll help clean up when everything's done, and I'll enjoy the meal. So tell me when to be there, what time we're eating, and I'm good to go.
The big question on Dale, are you golfing Thursday morning to stay out of the house until
I am not golfing Thursday morning. But because it's still
watch football.
It's still Carpath only, Lou. It's still Carpath only.
Yeah, that's the only reason.
Yeah.
Why is that? Seed?
Yeah, they'll overseed. So I think they open up on Monday to medical exemptions. You can drive that. I'm a medical exemption, so
well, then all the rain, I'm sure, on top of it is just.
I got your medical.
Yeah, Dale doesn't want to wake up and watch Packers Lions. He'd rather go golfing, I think.
Finally, the Lions game it's worth watching. When all through the '90s, we played the late game, and that first Detroit game was always just a piece of junk. And now it's kind of worthwhile watching.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. And it's a division game on top of it. You got Packer Lion hatred that goes back generations, and they're both decent, both skilled, balanced teams, good defenses. Everybody wants to find fault. Oh, Detroit, they've lost their last two. Oh, Green Bay, the quarterback doesn't look emotional and fired up. He looks too mainline.
Lou's been watching the show, Dale.
That's all a bunch of hocus pocus to me. I think those first two games are both compelling football games.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, 7. Well, I call them both 7-4, even though the Packers are technically 7-3-1. Before we get into football, Lou, really quick, just tell everybody Gamblu.com. Of course, it's the season of giving and stuff like that as well. So please tell everybody what you do and you support there with Gamblu.com as well, and inform everybody on that.
The webpage is Gamblu.com. That's where you can research me or get a hold of me should you choose to. Hopefully it's to thank me. Many do. But if there's criticism, I'll surely shoulder it. Normally, if there's criticism coming, you'll hear it from me. This week's blog is just a little warning about how to address the next 5-6 days of sitting around and being home all day and betting ball games. I think there's a way to plan what you want to do and stick to it. But most importantly, especially at Thanksgiving time, the San Xavier mission It is a charitable cause that Gamblu has undertaken, and it just so happens that there's a button on the top of the web page far right that Kobe was just good enough to hit. And the mission is the oldest mission in the country, located south of Tucson, Arizona, just a couple hours south of Phoenix. And they're doing great work there. Thanksgiving time, I'd encourage everybody to check them out. There's a direct link to the mission right there that's flashing. If you hit that, you can go there and research and check it out. Steve allows me to bring attention to the mission each week, and I thank him for that. It's really appreciated.
Yeah, and I want to be clear. It's not just because of the time of year we're in. You focus on them year round as well, obviously. So it's not just because of the time of year it is out there. So what you're saying is don't bet on every game. Don't lose all of your money on Thursday with those 3 games. Spread it out a little bit,
and then double down on Friday,
yes.
and then chase on Saturday, and then go after it on Sunday.
Well, listen, if you're approaching it like a guy that golfs, hey, listen, it costs money to take the cart, to buy the clubs, to be in the club. If you got a boat, it costs money to insure it. You got to put gas in it. You got to bring sandwiches and cold drinks out there when you go use it. And if you're going to approach it like that, then you can do whatever you want. But if really at the end of the day you're doing it and you want to try and make some money, then I think you need to plan, because just going day by day with the menu of hundreds of bets each day across every single sport, you can get really in trouble early. And then it's how do you dig out? And by the end of the week, there's a lot of people that don't often bet 3, 4, 5 days in a row, and they can get blinded by what the numbers can do to you. If you don't think it can happen, trust me, it can, because it does every year, especially on this weekend. And for that reason, I start my week Monday Night Football, and I begin to handicap the week in the NFL, which is all I'll bet. And I'll only have 4 to 6 bets all weekend long. But it'll be from Monday night loaded back into the NFL with maybe 1 or 2 tomorrow, 1 or 2 positions like in a teaser or something like that, because I want to really plan my work and then work my plan, because I think by the end of the week, if you have certain numbers, say for instance, you took the Patriots on Monday Night Football in a 10-point teaser, well, you're not giving 8.5. Now you're getting 2.5. Okay, let me take that back. You're not given 1.5. You're getting 2.5. Now I'm all right.
Yeah, get it all up. Yes,
it's 8.5 and 1.5. That makes 10. So you're
Yeah.
not giving 8.5 with the Patriots on Monday Night Football at home. You're getting 1.5, and so you just need the Patriots to win. Now, by the time that comes, those people that have bet Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, they're hypnotized, and they're not betting the team the Patriots are playing, the Giants. They're not betting the Giants. They're going to be betting the Patriots. What's going to happen to the Patriot number? It's going to go up more, and so now I'll have options to either hold my advantage with 10 points in pocket if I hit the first 2 legs of the teaser and can get there, and then I can play into it should I choose. If I think if the quarterback for New England May goes down, they got to play the second string guy. The line drops. Now I can play to the other side and try and get a middle. It's called arbitrage betting. I do it a lot, but suffice it to say, working backwards is really how I like to do it, because I want to take advantage of what happens to the NFL board Saturday night after Friday, Saturday college football games.
You just made my head hurt. But before we get into the NFL,
sorry,
you got the Territorial Cup. Any interest this year? Is it fun for you to watch 2 actually good teams go at it? Is it a different day of the football season for you, or do you not really care?
Years ago, it didn't mean as much as it does recently, because I don't carry any form. I really have such a such an admiration for the staff currently at ASU, and I like that team so well. I like the coaching staff. I know a couple of the guys, and so I find myself to some extent torn. But make no mistake about it, I went to the U of A, so I will want the U of A, but it's lined pretty close. U of A is like 1.5. Or what's the line in the game?
I'm gonna look it up right now. I looked it up yesterday. It was still 1.5. I'm sorry, it flipped to ASU favored 1.5 is what it had flipped to. Arizona opened 1.5 favorites, and it flipped pretty quickly. I'll look that up while you talk here, Lou. Get the current number.
So
by the way, it's back on FanDuel. It's back to Arizona favored 1.5 today. So it's flipped.
Okay, so
it's flipped back and forth.
So here's my tactic on the game completely. I haven't done this yet, but as soon as this is over, I'm going to do it because I'm going to watch that game. And I'm going to do something I never do. I'm just going to make a recreational bet because I think I have an angle here. And here's my angle. I'm going to use a teaser. I love these 10-point teasers. I use them an awful lot. I'm going to use that one leg. The first leg will be in that game, and it's going to be to take ASU up to 11.5 at home. Number one, I like it. I think that's a winning bet. And number two, if I lose, I'll be tickled because that means the Cats boat raced them. So that's a no-lose leg for me. I don't often do that, but every year in the Territorial Cup, I may.
Hey, you got to have some fun, but I mean, I think that's telling. Like I said, Arizona opened up favorites. It switched to Arizona State, back to Arizona. That means there's some movement here on this line, and it's kind of interesting.
That means nobody knows.
Yeah.
But tell me this, Lou. You played a territorial cup or two. What was your record against ASU?
No, I went to the U of A and never made a full year.
I thought you got a scholarship.
I was offered a scholarship
To ASU.
To Iowa, ASU, and U of A. And I accepted the Iowa scholarship, had to have a knee operation after track my senior year, and then the schools pulled back the scholarships, and I thought, well, I'm not going to a winter school if I'm going to go to school and not play.
Oh.
So I decided to go to Arizona, and when I got there, it's like, hey, it's early August. I got to play football. So I walked on. They knew me. Tough Tony Mason was the coach. He recruited me. He was like, he had to figure, great, I get you for free. But I didn't last long. Between college football, and back then it was still took a lot of time. Don't get me wrong. And fraternity rush, I found out within about 6 weeks which way I was going. Fraternity rush.
Exactly.
That's the truth. I didn't have the proper maturity to be a college football player. That's just the simple truth.
Okay. And what fraternity did you pledge?
I went to hit the U of A, the Sigma Nu fraternity, a place that changed my life forever.
For better or for worse?
It changed in every positive
Good
way. My eyes were a little dude from Omaha. I drove down with a gal that was in a sorority from Omaha. It's the only person I knew. She dropped me off at this front door. She said, well, get your crap out and go in there. I said, well, then what do I do? She says, you'll figure it out. and that's what happened. I can't tell you. It was the greatest move I ever could have made.
Awesome.
How I did it, I don't know.
Hey, Lou, before we take our break here, Dale's got to take off here to head over to his radio hit over there today. But since he's here, I want to ask about Chiefs Cowboys. And obviously, former Dallas Cowboy player here. Chiefs alive as well. Should we be as high as Dale has been the last couple of weeks on the Cowboys? He's picked them against the Eagles and things to that effect. Right now, Chiefs are 3.5-point favorites here going into Dallas. Obviously, short week for both these teams. Off an emotional win over the Colts last Sunday and overtime. I think it ended up going to the Chiefs number 3.5 kind of surprises me. What's the number saying?
Yeah, the Chiefs opened. The look ahead was 3.5. It's 3.5 now, but even at your FanDuel or DraftKings, it's reduced juice, making it easier.
Plus
Because
100.
across the
Yeah.
across the Las Vegas boards, it's 3 minus 115, minus 110, of course, at the South Point because they don't jump the minus 110. So you've got what you got is a little bit of pressure on Dallas. There's a little bit of belief in Dallas as far as betting splits are concerned. If I go to Circa on the betting splits, 44% of the tickets are on the Cowboys. So the Chiefs are getting more tickets, okay? But 79% of the money is on the Cowboys. That means bigger bets are betting the Pokes. And I can see kind of why, in my opinion, when you look for spots, this is a terrible spot for Dallas because this is their third game in 10 days. It's the only team that has one of these this year, and it's Dallas, and this is the week. So this is the week where I think, especially off a huge emotional win last week, now they roll into Thanksgiving 4 days later at home. It's a dangerous, dangerous spot for them. But the pressure has gone from 3.5 to 3. So Dallas is getting some love. At the end of the day, though, when I handicap football, this is also a tough spot for the Chiefs. And I say that because I've been more than critical on Dallas all year long, especially the defensive front seven. But this trade after 2 games, and I'm not saying that's a season breaker, but after 2 games, the improvements on defense have been noticeable, and that it could be considered an understatement. So I have to respect that. And then on top of that, when you take a team full of guys that are world-class athletes and they begin to believe, you got a dangerous group of dudes. And I don't know if you're going to catch Dallas at any more dangerous position than, despite the 3 and 10 days, than this Thanksgiving day. And so I think it's a tough spot for Kansas City too. Game I'm fascinated in, and a game I did use in one of my teasers, and I used it immediately on Sunday under 52. And so I took 52 down to 42 and a half and 42 and went over. Well, I believe there's going to be points.
And let me tell you, Lou, what most fascinating to me is I played in 11 of these when I was in Dallas. I think all 11, we were on the road the Sunday before Thanksgiving. And this particular year, they were at home on Sunday, and now they're at home on Thursday, which I think has got to give you some type of advantage.
Well, any team that's home Sunday that is home Thursday that has to take a team that's on that's given.
Right.
What tarnishes it to a degree is 3 and 10. Dale, the NFL body, those guys, one hit, they a full game. Now this is their 3rd game in 10 days, and not only that, next week will be their 4th game in 17. You do the math, that's like what, 3.9 days off in between games. That's hard to maintain a level at that amount of rest, in my opinion. And so that's what makes me torn on the game. At the end of the day, I tend to let that betting split talk, and that the bigger bets are on Dallas, and I'm going to get Dallas at home, plus 3 or 3.5. I'm not sure how I'm going to attack it yet, if I even do, because I believe there's going to be more than 42 points scored in the game.
Yeah,
That's
and the line,
really,
by the way, you said the line. You said the line opened at 52. I think you said earlier in the week, 52.5 or something, because it's at 52.5 now as well. Because I agree with you. I tend to think there's going to be a lot of points scored in this game coming up here. We might see 2 teams in the 30s here, on 30s, with just a tired defense as these games go on both sides.
Well, open 49.
Okay, so everybody's on that board then. If it's 52.5 on FanDuel, so everybody's on the board that they're going to score a lot. Yeah.
And if you're betting Thanksgiving totals on Monday, it's probably not the first bet you're making.
Hey, Lou, Dale's got to take off here, so we'll take our break here. Come on back. It'll be me and you. We'll get through the other Thanksgiving games as well. Just a heads up, Flash Gordon, I see you on the text line. I'll get to that here later on in the show when Lou's done. And Lou, you have an issue here, and this is your problem. I'm stepping out of this. I'll tell you about this on the text line next as well.
Wow.
As well.
Happy Thanksgiving, Lou.
You too, Dale, for sure.
Come on back, guys. Dale, have a good Thanksgiving. We'll see you on Monday. Everybody else, come back. Join me and Lou here for the rest of the hour. And then, of course, Mike Sheehan at 9 o'clock as well. Come on back, folks. And we're back here. Main events, of course, Dale's taking off today. He's got to go judge some rock things over there at KUPD. He's committed to that, so he's gone for the day. But Lou's sticking around here as we get through. No UFC this week, and there's 2 UFC fights here left on the card for this year before it switches over to Paramount next year as well. So some big changes coming up on that side. But Autumn, my significant other here, Lou, texted in and said, I've never had a reason to be upset at Lou, but gatekeeping that Riam recipe might get me there. So you're on your own on this one, Lou.
What does that mean? Sharing it?
No, not sharing it. Yeah, keeping it to yourself because it's an old world recipe, right? Your first wife's mom had the recipe and stuff. I don't expect you to do it over the air, but she's having fun with you on that. She's at home probably preparing for her family Thanksgiving feast yesterday, so it's probably on the top of her mind right now. So
I'll tell you, it's a huge hit, and the reason I think it's only professional to cite who the recipe came from, because I never knew, sweet potatoes, something you put a little butter on and eat like a baked potato. To me, I never had them like this, and let me tell you, this thing here, it's like heroin, man.
That's the amazing thing. Like when you get out of your family circle, right, as you get older, right, and you start getting married and having a significant other, and you get into those other, just amazing how people eat Thanksgiving dinners so differently, with everything they prepare and all that stuff. It's amazing, the recipes, and it really is just a giant eye opener, right?
Without question, especially the ethnicity. I'm Sicilian, so we had the antipasti. We always found a way to suppository some Italian food into any holiday. Thanksgiving probably the least, although you end up getting stuffed up on manicotti and some other antipasti early before you go to the. But it's the cultures and the ethnicities, and that's what makes to me that's what makes Thanksgiving awesome. And I love the blending of stuff, because my first wife's family, they were German, and so everything was food-wise was German food they got no taste, man. Everything's the same color. There ain't anything red in German food anywhere. Being a Mexican Italian guy, it was hard for me.
Yeah.
And so, but the clash was a learning experience in many ways. Opened my perspectives, because there was some great food that they did serve that I loved.
So I'm getting all hungry over here now, So
Yes,
I'm gonna have to get out of here today and go grab some good food today. But let's get into those Thursday games again. We're gonna cover, and don't forget, there's a Friday game as well again this year, and that'll be the Bears and Eagles coming up. But we just talked Chiefs Cowboys before that break there. Now we got Packers Lions will be the first game, 11 a.m. our time. Here in Phoenix tomorrow as well. This game is intriguing. Both teams are, I call the Packers 7-4 because saying 7-3-1 is annoying to me with the tie, right? But they are 7-3-1. They do play down to their competition. Lions have had some struggles lately as well. I am super high on, Montgomery and Gibbs as a running game there on that offense on the Lions. Their defense worries me a little bit, to be honest with you. And then the Packers offense worries me a little bit as well coming to this game. Lions at home are 2.5-point favorites. Over under on this game's 49.5. I don't know. I lean under on this one, Lou, just because Thanksgiving morning, and both these teams have a lot to prove. Am I thinking wrong here on this over under?
I don't think so. Actually, I think you're kind of spot on. When I look at this game uh, with my DVOA,
Mhm.
Green Bay 8 on offense, 9 on defense. Not only are they good
Really?
on both sides of the
Really?
ball, but they're solid and they're balanced.
Hmm.
So it's not just we have a great offense, can't stop a sneeze. Detroit seven, same thing, 7-6. I what I see is a good old fashioned 1968 slog.
Yeah.
And now it's going to be indoors and clean and sterile, but it's going to be what I believe to be a game that looks like 18-15
Hmm.
kind of thing.
Yeah.
And it's going to be ugly. I believe it's going to be low scoring. All of the Thanksgiving lines on the totals are high and they've gone up.
Especially the third
I,
one. The third one
it
we'll talk
makes
about in
me
a minute. Yeah.
makes me a little bit nervous about all of that. Those numbers are high. Dallas and Kansas City, I can see just because Dallas D, but this one here opens 47.5, now 49.5. I think that's too much.
You.
And I would lean to an under here. And I kind of lean to Green Bay maybe a little bit here because this number is 3. And we've seen it. I think you can see some 2.5s now. Is
Yeah,
that correct?
FanDuel's
Yeah.
2.5 right now. FanDuel's 2.5 minus 118
18.
For the Lions. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's toggling there. So they're seeing a little Detroit money here, and and how about the fans of Detroit that every year would attend this game,
Yeah.
and they'd go there with just Barry Sanders, and they'd get smashed. Now they have a good team the last few years.
Yeah.
I'm tickled for Detroit. I'm tickled for football fans because that's going to be a great divisional game. If you like 51-48, you're not going to like this game.
Yeah.
But I like 18-15, and I'm going to love this game.
And I mean, when was the last time we said both of these teams kind of need to win this game to just keep pace with the Bears, depending on what they do on Friday, right? When was the last time we said that in that division, right? So
long time, and
Yeah.
the bottom line is this: 17 games, they all mean a lot. Can't give nothing away.
Yeah, and it's an interesting, I'm torn on my pick on this game. It's one of our picks here that me and Dale do for the show. I have his picks here, but I just don't. I go back and forth on this game. Lions at home, but they've shown some issues. I am not sold on Jordan Love as a quarterback. He can make some mistakes, but I love that Packers defense. So I don't know. I have to think long and hard on that game, which you got to give the NFL a lot of props because a lot of times in the past, these Thanksgiving games were blowouts or boring type of games. At least on paper, they put some good matchups together, including the night game here, 6:21 p.m. Kickoff for that. Bengals Ravens. And the only reason I say this is good because people go, Steve, the Bengals suck. What are you talking about? Joe Burrow's back. Doesn't that give you interest to watch this game? And I'm willing to bet you, without knowing the answer to this total's gone up because Joe Burrow's here as well. But the Ravens are favored by 7. Has that number changed at all since Joe Burrow has officially been announced he's playing this weekend? This
11
Thursday?
and a half.
Oh, so that's a big jump. Okay. Is he worth 4
Well,
points?
they're saying Burrow's 4.5
Yeah.
points to the line. Okay, that's probably close. The total went from 49.5, 51.5. I get that part too. That's logical that the better quote out. But T. Higgins is gone. Well, they still got the other guy. Yeah,
Jamar
but
Chase
now
is back.
here's
Yeah.
the offense changing continuity. Now they got different receiver as the main guy this week than from last week with a different quarterback. So, and not only that, I think Burrow's the cat's meow. But in week 1 at NFL pace and speed, no.
I agree with
I don't
that.
care who you are. You might need a week, and Burrow going to need a week.
Yeah.
And I'm not so convinced this isn't a great opportunity on on Baltimore. A division game.
Mhm.
They're at home. They were given 11.5. Now it's 7. Let's wait and see if it gets done. Even at 7, what I would do, I'd look to tease Baltimore down to pick, tease them down to 1. I'd look to maybe wait if you want to play straight and see if you can get to 6.5. But I think there's nothing that can take the place of the fact that Cincinnati's defense, 30th ranked against the run, 32nd against the pass,
Terrible.
32nd overall facing the Baltimore offense. It's just starting to come back and find itself.
And they have some injuries on that Bengals defense as well. That doesn't mean they're going to get better going into this game. What are the Ravens defense ranked at nowadays? Because it was terrible to begin the season. I know they've gotten a little bit better, but what are your DVOA numbers on the Ravens these days?
20.
Yeah.
Oh, excuse me. Yes, the Ravens D is 20, and they'll be facing a Cincinnati offense that's fifth rushing. That's what Cincinnati has been doing well. They're actually 22nd against the pass. The issue is Baltimore's pass defense is where Cincinnati wants to go. It's 21 ranked because their defense, the rush defense, 15, and it matches up well against Cincinnati's offense. Again, I think what you're going to have here is a tough slog early, but I see Baltimore pulling away based on the aptitude of the Baltimore offense against the inaptitude of the Cincinnati defense.
Yeah, and I agree with you. Joe Burrow might come back and be, the quarterback we expect him, but first game back on a Thursday. I know he didn't play last week. And things to that effect.
He hadn't played for 3 months.
It worries you a little bit, right? Maybe not initially, but as the game goes on, there might be some rust and some, fatigue or whatever you want to call it coming in on that as well. So
I don't see fatigue, but I definitely see an adjustment to the speed of the game, and you don't just get that in 2 series.
Exactly, right? Then you got the big game on Friday, right? Your Chicago Bears against the Philadelphia Eagles. Eagles had a 21-point lead going up against Dallas there and was dominating that game. Dallas scored 21 unanswered, forces the overtime. Dallas ends up winning that game. Last week, Eagles go back home here and play the Bears, right, who are leading that division right now and have all sorts of confidence coming into this game. Right now, the Eagles are 7-point favorites coming to the game, and the Eagles' run offense is terrible this year, of course. Coming to that effect. Over under in this game is 44.5. Even at 44.5, I kind of lean toward the under in this game with what both of these offenses can do unless the Bears can light it up. But 7-point favorites for the Eagles kind of raises my eyebrows a little bit that might be a little bit too high. Am I wrong?
Okay. The bad spot for the game is that Philly is off a Sunday night game.
Mm-hmm.
And so not only that, it was on the road, but now they come home, take on a hot Chicago team. Total open 45s, tick down just a touch.
44.5.
I will say, where is it?
44.5 on FanDuel. Mm-hmm.
Let me tell you that at this time tomorrow or by Saturday, 3 p.m., this total is going to be 42 because there is going to be tremendous wind in Philly on game day.
On Friday?
I've already bet this under, and that's why this is good. We're on Wednesday because now listeners are getting information that I'm telling you to stop what you're doing right now and take the under right now because not only is it over the key number 44, you get the half point, but like I say, I firmly believe that we're just ahead of. I look at weather Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, not Thursday, Friday, Saturday when the rest do. So that's my hot take here on that game. I think you're gonna have offenses that are going to be bogged down because they're not going to be able to play a circus game by throwing the ball all over the field. It's going to be a more conservative game. Overall, I had Philly against Dallas last week, so to think that I can come back and think they're in a good position this week, again, Bears have momentum and belief. And Philly just trying to win a game. If they win by 1, they walk off the field tickled and move on to the next one. So my position on that game is all over the under.
I didn't even know about the weather, and I instinctively was thinking the under on that as well. The Eagles' offense and their rush offense, you have the stats on this, and and you track this stuff. But the Eagles' rush offense has not been good. A big weather game where they're not going to be able to pass it as easily, et cetera, worries me a little bit about the Eagles on that side. Would I be looking at that incorrectly?
I think that they're going to be passing. It's just going to not be passing to wide receivers and slot guys. Okay. I think you're going to see to the back and to the tight end, shorter, more controlled passing should you have passing. I mean, Philadelphia's got the 8th ranked passing offense, 20th ranked rush offense, and that's even now hurt because of the loss of Lane Johnson.
Yeah.
So the good news is for Philly, they're going up against the Bears defense. It's 27th against the run. That's a bunch of dudes that just, I don't know that they, to me, that if you're 27, 28, 29, 32 against the run in your defensive line, then you really need to improve. You got no toughness and grit there. And I'll accuse the Bears of that. And they were that way last year. They just haven't apparently gotten around to fixing that. Philly should be the favorite here. But Chicago has the greatest turnover ratio in the NFL, and if that keeps up, they'll keep winning.
I don't even think it's close, right? They're well ahead of it. I think they were at 14. I don't know what they did over the weekend here, but
they
I
were
mean,
12, and
is it
yeah,
12?
they were 12, and now they're higher. So
Yes.
they believe me.
Lead it on that side, right? Hey, Lou, we're running out of time here, so I want to get one more game in definitely, and then I'll throw it to you on kind of any final thoughts. But obviously, the local team, the Cardinals, Buccaneers, go to Tampa Bay this weekend. Baker Mayfield has an AC joint injury, which, if you don't know, is very painful, but it's not on his throwing arm. It's on his non-throwing arm here. He's kind of an unknown to play this weekend coming up for the Buccaneers, who need a win in the worst possible fashion in that division at 6-5 now. And the Cardinals are traveling across the country here at 3-8, been losing, just lost another late game. Controversy around their play calls, at least from my circles that I travel in and I talk about. Buccaneers 3 points favorites, over under 44.5 coming into this game. With the unknown of Baker Mayfield, is there anything to possibly get out of this game early here in this week, or is it just wait and find out what Baker's doing?
Yeah, no question. And I'll tell you right now, he's going. So
Okay.
the dude's a warrior. He's a linebacker dressed in quarterback clothing. I'm saying he's going to go, and if he does go, that line is going to go back to 6.5, which is where it was before he hurt his shoulder. So the look ahead was 6.5. Now it's 3. So they're saying the difference between he and Teddy is 3.5 points. Teddy Bridgewater, the backup in Tampa. Tampa it relies on the grit of Baker Mayfield, but they're complete as a football team. So Teddy fits just fine right there. And if I'm a gambling man, and I may look to try and take advantage of that Tampa 3 right now, because in my mind, there's nothing keeping Baker Mayfield out of that game.
And it's that was my main question on that, is because I agree with you. I think Baker's gonna play. It's an off shoulder. Only way he doesn't, I think, is if the team decides, hey, we need you. We can win this game against Arizona without you. So we're gonna rest you, so we're ready for you at the end. And I don't know if the Buccaneers are in a position to do that right now. So, hey, Lou, as we wrap up this hour with you here this week, I appreciate you coming in on Wednesday, but I'm going to leave it open to you. You still got Bills Steelers on the schedule this week. Vikings Seahawks. I don't know if why there would be any interest in that with a undrafted rookie possibly starting for the Vikings, but I'm going to kind of leave it to you on, is there a game you're looking at this week that we haven't talked about and something you'd like to discuss?
Well, anyone that's a regular listener here knows how vested we are in Buffalo.
Yes.
And that under this year. But one must compartmentalize, because week to week looking for my advantage may force me to come into conflict with another bet that I may have. And for the newer bettors, that's hard to do. But for an old gristled dude like me, it's easy to do. And so when I look at this Buffalo game, I tend to like it, and I tend to like it because I have where is that game?
It is Sunday at 2:25.
Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh. Yeah.
Buffalo enters on a 10-day stint, so they've had 10 days off.
And Aaron Rodgers.
Pittsburgh lost their last game. They're going to get Rodgers back. I don't know that necessarily helps them. The number was 3.5. Look ahead, it's still 3.5. Boy, it seems like they're making Pittsburgh look really like a darling, and I'm not so sure that they are. Buffalo off a loss, and now 10 days. Could be in an angry mood. Let's watch that one. If it gets to 3, Buffalo's a bye. And even at 3.5, they may be used in a 7-point teaser where I would take Buffalo from giving 3.5 and I'd move them across the 0 to getting 3.5 and use them with another team.
Over under on that game's 47.5. I don't know what the weather's going to be there in Pittsburgh, but this time of year it's little bit cold. Sometimes the wind comes in. Precipitation can be out there. I know that doesn't affect the Bills at all, but does that affect the under 47.5 coming in this game? And I don't know what the opening number was. So
the opening total was like 47.5.
Okay, so it's still there.
And as far as weather is concerned, the game being in Pittsburgh, you've got decent wind. It isn't quite the same wind that you're going to see Friday, a few days earlier in Baltimore, but 12-mile-an-hour scheduled. If I see 16 or higher, that's when, because then you look to the specific city and you see the gusts are 35, 40. That's what you want to see. If it's raining, no wind, no problem. If it's cold, no wind, no problem. It's wind, and wind is what I look for.
Yeah, exactly. So on that perspective, so I mean, with the Thursday games, I'm looking forward to them. They're built up. Even the Friday game, the Bears game, I'm looking forward to. And then there's just not a lot of Sunday games where I'm like getting excited about, right? A lot of mismatch, at least perceived mismatches on paper, and things to that effect. So it'll be an interesting NFL weekend, Lou, and everything. So I appreciate you coming and joining me on Wednesday this week. Beforehand, of course, you get off of UFC, but now you've got the turkey duty and all of that stuff, which sounds like it's more exciting and more stressful than the UFC stuff is.
Two things. Before I leave. One, happy Thanksgiving to everybody. Number two, keep up the great work, Coach Sheehan. I see you on deck there. Have a great Thanksgiving, Coach.
Yeah, he's coming up. Championship game playing St. John's up there from Northern Arizona, and
go get them, baby.
They're a good team, man. So it's going to be a fun weekend up here, and I'm looking forward to getting out there as well for that 3 p.m. kickoff on Saturday as well after that ASU U of A Territorial Cup, man, right? And that's, 2 8-3 teams. I don't think Arizona's as good as Arizona State is right now, but they are confident. They have a lot of talent on that team, and I think Arizona does have a chance to win this game, which makes this game exciting coming into it as well. So it's going to be a fun weekend.
Gee, thanks. Arizona has it. They're favored. They have a chance. They're damn right they have a chance to win this game.
That's just people in Tucson throwing money down, hoping that it can help them out, right? But in all seriousness, I appreciate it.
Side bet, Steve. All right, I'm closing out so you guys get to the coach.
You got it, man. We'll talk to you next week and everything. Have a great holiday weekend.